Live on YouTube and Google+, it's Pageant Live. This is the place for glamour and style. Get great pageant tips you won't find anywhere else. Find out what you need to know before your next pageant. Post your questions and comments for our panel during the show. Learn great ideas about all aspects of pageantry. Here we go. Pageant Live starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Pageant Live. I'm Stephanie McGrain, and I am so excited because tonight we are going to bring you some awesome and amazing pageant tips from our beautiful guests. So let's get started right away by meeting them, and we're going to start with you, Frau Lisa.
Hello, my name is Frau Lisa McFall, and I'm American Beauty's Club Plus Woman Queen 2013.
Welcome. It's great to have you.
Thank you. It's nice for you to have me on the show.
And Mia, let's meet you next.
Hi, I'm Mia Sims. I am the currently reigning Miss Black DC U.S. Ambassador.
Welcome, Mia. And I have to tell the viewers, what is so cool about our format for Pageant Live is that you can be anywhere in the world and join this awesome hangout, our show. And I know that you, Mia, are actually, you're not even at home. Tell us where you are.
I am at a coffee shop at Cosi. Yeah, it's actually, my commute is so crazy that to stop here made the most sense instead of commuting all the way home. I probably would have missed it. So,
well, we're glad to have you, and you're lucky because I have to have my coffee every day. So you're
oh my
gosh. Welcome. And Sean, let's meet you next.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Cunningham. I'm Ms. Maine Elite Woman of Achievement and Mrs. Accomplished American 2014. Glad to be on the show again.
Oh, great to have you, Sean. Welcome back. Okay, ladies, I am excited to hear all of the fabulous pageant tips that you're going to share with our viewers. And so I really want to get started. And Frau Lisa, I know you had some amazing tips for us. So let's start with you.
Okay, so one of my tips is to practice walking in your shoes. I am not a high heels shoe type of woman. I didn't even wear a lot of dresses. So I knew the shoes were going to hurt. So what I suggest is that you wear each of your shoes for an hour every day for at least 6 weeks before your pageant. That way you're used to it, your feet are used to it, and you're walking naturally. Yeah.
Good tip. Okay, I have a question. Does that mean your feet don't hurt at all then when you get to the pageant?
Actually,
hurt.
Mine didn't hurt. Mine were sweaty, and I wasn't expecting to have sweaty feet. But mine actually didn't hurt. I had different size heels, so all my heels were not like 3 inches. I had 3, I had a 2, I had a 1. So my feet didn't hurt at all. But what I wasn't expecting was being so hot and my feet sliding. And so I had to deal with that, you know. But yeah, my feet actually didn't hurt.
Oh, that's good. That absolutely, because that's one of the worst things about it. Okay, I have a question. Someone recently told me that moleskin is good to put in your shoes because it's really comforting on your feet and you don't feel as much pain. Have you ladies heard about that?
No, that's kind of eclectic, I would say. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of like, you know, like shoe pads that you just put in your shoe just to like relieve some of the, I guess, the slippage from what you were experiencing for Lisa with the sweating and like your toes slipping out, especially in like deep toe when you're, oh my gosh, that's so annoying when your toes kind of like want to squeeze out.
Yeah.
They have to stay in.
Yeah, but I didn't have shoe pads, and so what I used was panty liners, and, so, and they worked. It was the only thing I had.
Whatever you have, right? You gotta be creative.
Well, actually, actually, Stephanie, my advice, my pageant tip is is a little deeper than that. It's for the well-rounded contestant. It's live your crown. And if you really want to pursue, if you're looking for a local, state, and you're pursuing a national or international title, you know, you have a whole year of preparation, and you really need to, it starts from within, and kind of live what I like to call live your crown and live your platform, which is promoting something that you're passionate about. Don't just pick an issue that's you know, for the now, but something that you're directly related to, because you have a whole year of representing yourself, and while representing yourself on the local and or state level, it's a real opportunity for you to demonstrate to those at national or international that you are the right, you know, title holder, that you're not letting your crown and your sash sit on your laurels on a shelf over the year. So for me, it really starts, you know, whenever I decide to pursue whatever title I'm going after, I hit the ground running, and I make every day and every time more substantive, and I make it count. I start by prioritizing what I want to do with that year, setting goals for myself, and creating appearances, and really living my platform and being passionate about something, because for all of us, these are jobs. They're, you know, they're role model positions, and there's, you know, you're out in the public eye, but they're really jobs, and you have to model that. You have to kind of go after this the way you would go after a job, and putting together a strong resume and demonstrating that you are the right candidate to represent that title if you are afforded the opportunity to win it. So,
Sean, I love that you said that, because as a judge coming into a pageant, if you have contestants who've done nothing with their state title and they're competing for the national title, I mean, what's to say? Who's to say that they're, you know, going to be any more successful if they spent however many months doing nothing with their current title?
Right. Right, and I think it's, you know, like, again, it's about picking something that you're passionate about, and something that I call the 3 C's, which is being creative, thinking outside of the box, you know, prioritizing your platform and picking something that you're passionate about. Also, you know, cultivating your title and cultivating your, what we like to call your pageant brand, because nowadays, I mean, your image is your brand. You're representing yourself, and you're representing whatever system that you've decided to pursue. And also collaborate. Develop collaborations with organizations, businesses, civic groups that share the same passion or platform as you, and aligning yourself with them. So it's something I like to call the 3 C's. Again, look at this as that you're pursuing, you know, you're becoming a spokesperson for your pageant brand, and you're wanting to move up the chain and move up the level to represent this on a national or international or state level. So you really need to take it seriously and kind of start from within and decide, you know, what makes you the qualified candidate to pursue this. That's something that I really think about throughout the course of the year, and that's what led me to want to pursue Women of Achievement, because it's about professional women. It's about, you know, substantive women from all walks of life who are achieving things, you know, in their workplace, in their homes, in their families, in their communities. And so for me, I thought it was just a win-win, and I know that I'm really enjoying my experience from representing Maine, and I'm excited about, you know, working towards national, and I'm doing a lot in my community.
Oh, extraordinary tips. Okay, Sean and the rest of you ladies, what if I'm a first-time pageant competitor and I'm not sure what to get involved with for a platform, or how to actually make those connections within my community? Where would you recommend that I start?
Well, as my pageant promotes itself as it's being the change you wish to see in the world, so whatever you have to offer as an individual, what special talents or abilities that you have, take that and look within you and project that to your community, because each individual has something to offer, and it's just all about being your best self and projecting that on the community and making your year of service the best year possible. I actually just did an interview where they said, you know, how can someone get involved? It's as simple as being kind to someone, or just reflecting who you are to the community as your best self. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Right, and I like how you're stressing being your best self, because so many times you hear people say, just be yourself, just be yourself.
Yeah.
But that means you have to be the best you that you can possibly be.
That's how you win, actually. I know when I started, I've been doing pageants for a while now, and I remember, you know, I'm what you call a Miss America delegate. I'm very platform oriented and interview oriented, and I remember when I first started, you know, I looked at the national winners, and we all do that. We try to emulate what this girl has that made her win nationally, and I took more stock in what the image was instead of taking stock in who Sean was, and I wasn't winning. And finally a judge pulled me aside and said, you know what, you just need to be you. You need to give us you and show us you. And it wasn't until I started to really take stock in who I was and realized that that person already won. I needed to give them Sean, that I really started to have more faith in myself and know that that was enough. And when I started to do that, my, you know, who I was on the inside really shone and really shone bright. And I think that's where I started. I was a hot mess, honey, when I first started. I mean, really, I was. You know, we all make those mistakes. The big hair, the bugle beads, you know, the gaudiness. We think that that's what's going to win it. But realistically, it isn't until you decide, you really embrace your identity, your individuality, because that's what makes us all unique, is the fact that we're ourselves. There's no one else out there like each of us. And that's how you win. That's what sets us apart. That's what sets us to be role models for younger women or for other women wanting to get into this. And that's what makes pageantry so diverse and a great activity for women, because we're so unique.
Right. If I could piggyback off of that, I think being the best you is wonderful. I had to come to grips with that because I don't have relaxed hair. I am an all-natural hair. And I do all-natural products. So all of my products don't have parabens, including my makeup and finding natural makeup. But when I was talking to people, that really wasn't what I considered pageantry or what I saw. And so I had to come into Farlisa's own and say, you know what? I'm going to go being me. I'm going to go in with my natural hair and rock it. And when I found out later on that most women don't, thank you, that most women don't go natural hair, they're putting some pieces, some weaving, it doesn't matter who they are. And I rocked it with my natural hair and became a national queen. I was like, yay! But I embrace that, and I tell everybody else, embrace who you are and bring it forward. In order to do what we do, we have to do that. And so I love what you said when you said, you know, bring the best you possible, and I did that. So yeah.
And it worked for you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, now I want to ask you ladies, how much is too much? Of course, I think it's important to be you, but I've had so many title holders, of course, and I'm sure lots of women you know, who, you know, are doing a lot of unnatural things. They aren't really themselves. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
My feeling is that I don't like to judge other people. I think inwardly, if you're standing on that stage and you know you're not giving the judges, your audience, if you're really not feeling comfortable in your skin, and you know those moments when you're standing on stage and you know when you don't feel essentially yourself. You can lie to other people, but you can't lie to yourself. And there's that inner voice inside of you, that little voice that says, you know what, something's not right here. Then I think you know that you've overdone it. But I'm not one to judge other people about enhancements or things like that, because I know some people where they've done that and it helps them to come into whatever, you know, they feel comfortable with, because the key is to feel comfortable in your own skin. And again, it's about knowing your inner voice, and I can't give another person that affirmation or, you know, of what their inner voice is. Only they can do that. But I will say along the way, I mean, I certainly love to evolve as far as looks and appearance and cultivating and refining what your appearance. I love myself I'm over the age of 30, that's all I'll say, but I will say I love myself over the age of 30 than I do. I mean, no, I do. I love myself now than I was in my 20s. I love myself in my 20s versus when I was in my teens. We're evolving. We're aging gracefully. We're like fine wine, you know? But and it's a process and it's a journey. And what we're learning through that journey is to love ourselves even more. And so I can't do the journey for someone else. I can only do the journey for Sean. But however another person gets to their journey, I applaud that.
Outstanding. Yes. And I loved how you said that. It's not just about this pageant or winning this crown, but it's about life every day and making that journey and being the best person that you can be.
Yes.
So I love what pageantry stands for and how it brings women together, supporting one another and evolving, making that journey and being the best that we can possibly be. Okay, ladies, now I have to ask, what are your tips on wardrobe? What kind of awesome tips can you give us?
Oh my goodness. Wardrobe.
I really absolutely love anything sparkle. I have everything sequin, from like sequin pants to sequin shorts to sequin shirts. I haven't worn them all at the same time. Thank you. But I love sequins. In pageantry, that is just, I normally wear black, but I just go crazy with anything bling and sequin, so I love pageantry for that, and you guys may disagree, but I just love sequins. I love them all the time.
Too. Now, about wardrobe and outfits and choosing what you like, and we touched a little bit on this earlier, but what are your recommendations to the viewers? Now, I know a lot of coaches and pageant competitors will go back and look at the last so many years of winners within that system, study them, study their hair, study their wardrobe.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think versus being you and not going into the system worrying about everything in the past?
Well, for me, because actually this was my first pageant I ever entered, and so I had nothing to go off of except for the Miss America and Miss Universe, but I don't fit their body stature, so I had to go off of what looks good on Fralisa and what is Fralisa going to feel comfortable in order to bring her best foot forward. You know, so I think I came a little differently, but I do know women who were studying, or people told me, oh, go look at all these things. And I said, no, I need to be me. I know my body type. Let me go and find things that are going to fit me. And then with my coach, we were able to find things that look nice on me, that would be really presentable for who I am to the pageant, you know, for the pageant. So, yeah.
Well, that's fabulous. And congratulations to you on your title and winning your pageant. Yay!
Thank you.
And do you ladies all have a seamstress, someone that you work with? I feel it's so important to have whatever you wear fitting you absolutely perfectly. So do you have something special that you work with to get everything just right?
Well, for me, go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, I wanted to echo what you were saying about, I mean, I love to look at, you know, what past winners wore, but I also love to be fashion forward. I like to try whatever I'm comfortable in, and sometimes it's a mixture, but ultimately I have to feel like $1 million in it, and I have to feel confident in it. And the other thing I want to point out too, because the other assumption is that you have to go out and spend a ridiculous amount of money on gowns to win, or wardrobe to win, and that's not true. I think you have to, you know, be economical, be practical, and know yourself. I mean, some of the best things I've gotten from consignment, from eBay. eBay is a pageant girl's best friend, and just you know, being observant about your body type and what you like, and being on the lookout, you know, whenever you're out there and you're putting your wardrobe together. You don't have to spend $1 million. I mean, if you have a good eye and know yourself, know your body type, and you're working with a, you know, if even by yourself, not even just a good team, but if you're knowledgeable, you don't have to spend $1 million, because pageantry can sometimes be, you know, a costly hobby. We love it, but it can be a costly hobby, but you don't have to spend a lot of money to, you know, they say you don't have to spend $1 million to look like $1 million.
That's right. Sean, I have a question for you. Do you have a certain seller or certain sellers that you go to on eBay? I know you don't always know who you're buying from, what you're going to get,
right?
Or have you just always had good luck with whoever you buy from?
I think with anything, especially if you're doing it online, buying online or shopping online, there can be risks involved. But I think, you know, I've been doing eBay for, you know, for quite a while, and there are certain sellers that I continually go back to that I trust. I've bought a few pieces from them, and I know, okay, size-wise, this is within the size range, and they, you know, they have pretty decent garments and things like that. But I mean, I'm not going to say there is no risk involved if you're buying something online. But again, it's just, you know, before you make the, you know, the decision to buy something or to bid on something, feel free to ask the seller. Ask them 50 million questions. What is the sizing of this? What is the material of this? You know, who is the brand name? If there's a brand name or label, how, you know, how long is, and do your homework. And if all of those ducks in a row kind of come together, then yes, you know, make the decision that you're going to pursue that or not. I mean, it's worked out for the most part for me. There have been a few times when, you know, you might get something in the mail or shipped to you, and it's you know, not everything that you thought it would be. But you know, life is an investment, and life involves risk. And, you know, still sometimes I feel like if I'm willing and I'm open to exercise all kinds of options when putting a good wardrobe together, as opposed to just always buying retail and spending a lot of money on a hobby that I can, you know, put and allocate funding for other things. That can go to my sponsors, it can go to my ads, it could be, you know, going to accessories or whatever things that we need to put a whole package together, you know, before we get to the national competition. I mean, just make good, practical, common sense choices that you would, you know, even outside of pageantry. Do your homework and ask questions. Those are the two biggest tips I would advise.
Well, now, Sean, do you happen to remember the names of the places or sellers that you bought from on eBay?
Yes, when you set up an account, when you set up an account, basically you can, what they call, a lot of the sellers that I buy from have what we call eBay stores. They're not just individual stores. I mean, they're selling some retail things via eBay. They have an online store, and so for the most part, I'm a return customer. I'll go back again and again and again, and they pretty much know me. I also have some of them have even, you know, been my sponsors.
Wow.
You know, I've told them that I'm doing this as a state or national title holder, and I've said to them, you know, I'm wearing your wardrobe. Do you mind even, you know, wanting me to advertise? And they've done it. They've actually advertised or helped. So those are potential sponsors, believe it or not. All you have to do is be willing, which is another tip I have. Put yourself out there, promote yourself, and what positive thing that you're doing, and see. All you have to do is ask, and all a person has to do is say yes or no. But I'm not afraid to ask.
And yes, absolutely love that tip. We hear a lot at Pageant Live. How do you get sponsors? So that's a new one, and I love that. I mean, absolutely. Check every place you can. You know, sometimes it can be difficult to get sponsors. So, you know, any tips, any other place we can try, that is fabulous. Also, I want to tell our viewers that recently we had Jonathan Kane on Ask the Crown, and he was talking about his line of gowns, which are reasonably priced. Of course, he, you know, has quite the variety of gowns, but he also is working in his shoes, children's all the way up to adults, plus size gowns. So, you know, definitely check him out. I love Jonathan Kane. So, and you can see that interview on Ask the Crown at PageantLIVE.com. But ladies, what about the rest of you? Have you purchased anything on eBay, and what have your experiences been with that?
Well, I myself am sort of on the smaller side, so I have had great luck just kind of checking out prom vendors. And of course they cater to the price range of, you know, that demographic. So it just works well for me, because not only am I working out with the size, but also the price as well. So and I think the sizes range in that demographic as well. So it's just a win-win. I love it.
You can't beat that. And I do want to point out also, my last pageant I entered, I won the overall gown award. My gown was only
Yay!
nice. Over $200. Of course, it doesn't include alterations, but the price doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
So give us some more fabulous pageant tips, ladies. What would you like to share with our viewers? I know we just have a little bit of time left.
End of season. Try end of season. If you're looking at the end of maybe spring season, before each season, go to clearance. That's the best way, because even though you can't wear it for, say, the upcoming season, if you know that you're doing a competition the following summer or spring or the following year, it's new to you. You're ahead, exactly. You're ahead of the game. You've already purchased your interview suit or your cocktail gown. I have found really great wardrobe at the end of the previous season on clearance.
Love it.
And I clean up.
That's good. I like it.
Well, do you ladies have any other tips about being on stage?
Being on stage.
Oh, I have a tip about just production and just sort of being in that environment. When I've been on quite a few productions myself, pageant or otherwise, and a helpful hint that I found useful is just having a quiet activity to do just during downtime, because you can't always run through your blocking or make noise. So just having something like knitting or a pretty engaging but not really deep book, so you can just sort of browse through it, or a magazine or cards, just something like a quiet activity that you can do. But another tip in that regard is always pack a sweater. Oh my gosh, most productions.
Have you noticed that most pictures backstage are cold? Yes, they're so cold backstage.
They're so cold.
True.
Why do they want? We don't want to turn into popsicles. No thanks. So pack a sweater, and I think that's about it.
What else do you pack in your pageant bag? If you're going to bring a bag backstage, you're going to have your sweater, of course, something to drink. What else do you think is important to have back there?
An emergency kit. An emergency kit.
What would you have in that?
So my emergency kit was pins, tape, super glue, sewing kit. I also had a little energy kit inside of there, which had power bars, dried fruit, some emergency, because I found my energy level going down. I didn't realize how busy you are during that weekend. I had no idea. So somebody else gave me that tip. And then chocolate, just like the little Hershey Kiss chocolate, because just that little burst in your mouth, just for some, all of a sudden you just have a lot of energy just from that little tiny kiss.
I'm off And I love how you said, the sewing kit. There was a pageant where a girl was getting ready to go out in her opening number. The zipper broke, so we were back there. We were sewing her in her dress. She did end up winning, so you never know when you're going to need a needle and thread.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Well, ladies, it is about that time to wrap up. I loved our tips. I loved our conversation. So much fun. Thank you for giving fabulous tips, not only to me, but to our viewers this evening. But before we go, I'll give you a moment to wrap up. Let us know how we can find you on Facebook or follow you on Twitter or Instagram. Let us know more about your title, your platform. The time is yours, so whatever you'd like to share with us and leave us with. So, Fra Lisa, let's start with you.
Okay, so my title is American Beauties Plus Woman Queen 2013. And you can find me on Facebook under ABP Woman Queen 2013 on Facebook. My platform is Natural Essence, which is helping women and men become more authentically themselves through body, mind, and spirit. And I found out that my platform wasn't one that I go and talk. Because you have motivational speakers already who are talking to you. People sit down, they take notes, they look at them for maybe 2 weeks, or they'll put their notes away. Mine is more about field trips. We go out and do things. Like, for example, for our body, everybody's trying to incorporate more vegetables into their diet. So we went to a raw vegan restaurant to experience eating vegetables in a raw way, but in different ways. So we had there was 5 of us, and each of us had something different so that we could try everything. We are going to a museum. In 2 weeks, we're going to the opera. We're going to go see Madame Butterfly. So all of this is to help your spirit, to help your body, and to help your mind. So I do field trips for mine.
Oh, I love that. I want to be a
Thank
part
you.
of that.
Come on over.
Well, excellent. Thank you, Fra Lisa, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. I had a great time.
And Mia, let's move to you.
Hi, everyone. I am so excited to have been on the show this evening. I hope it was entertaining as well as informative. My title of Miss Black DC U.S. Ambassador encourages girls and women to be the change they wish to see in the world, which is so exciting for me because I'm very much a hands-on in the community type of individual, and I had the wonderful pleasure of going to read to a kindergarten class in DC. They're so wonderful. We read the Lorax as part of Read Across America Day and celebrating Dr. Seuss's birthday. It was so amazing.
Excellent.
I know. And one of the students had actually met the Lorax, and they were best friends. And he had also seen Purple Trees. And they had candy cane trunks and cotton candy. It was the best time of all time. So it was great. I love them. Yeah. But also, I encourage everyone to look me up on Facebook as Miss Black DC US Ambassador, as well as on Twitter. And thanks for tuning in.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mia, for joining us. And Sean, let's move to you next.
Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. I had a blast. We do this, but, it's so great, a great reminder of how fun pageantry is, just meeting these dynamic women, including yourself. This is just a great vehicle to promote positivity and womanhood, and I'm very excited to be Ms. Maine Woman of Achievement and Mrs. Accomplished American. I love systems that are substantive and well-rounded and that are a fit for me. I'm a working woman. I work in television as a journalist by day, but by night I'm a new mom to my 6-month-old son Aaron, and wonderful wife to my husband AJ. Those are the 2 best jobs that I have. Yeah, and so I love what I'm so excited about pageantry like this and substantive pageantry because, women from all walks of life and all arenas come together and participate in this activity and promote how diverse, how beautiful, how intelligent, how service-oriented, and just how fabulous we are as women. My platform is called The Business of Service, because I thought about what I'm most passionate about, and that is about giving back, for all of us, when you're given so much, even more is expected of you. And I thought that should be my platform, is promoting community service and how service really improves the human spirit, the human experience, and what you can bring on the job. Because when you give back to others, you have more self-esteem, you stand a little bit taller, you feel better about yourself, and it actually produces a stronger workforce, and you feel better about the job that you're doing. And so I thought that those two would be a really perfect marriage and a partnership to talk about how when it's important that we as employers and companies and civic groups, we have our workers engaged in service and representing companies that way. That's how you build a stronger workforce. And so Woman of Achievement, I thought was a really good fit because that's another system of dynamic women, accomplished Americans, another system of dynamic women. And the 2 systems that are represented tonight on Pageant Live, dynamic, every day I'm astounded at how strong and empowering pageantry is because I meet women like you, and it affirms for me that, you know, we're doing the right thing, and get it, girl. So thank you for having me.
Oh, Sean, thank you for joining us. Absolutely. And I loved everything you had to say and completely agree with you. You ladies are all fabulous, and that is why I love my job so much and working with Pageant Live, because I do get to meet fabulous ladies like yourselves. And I loved all of the fabulous tips that you had to share with us. And I want
Thank you.
viewers, thank you. Please visit us at PageantLIVE.com. Also, we have an amazing talent show coming up with over $2,500 in prizes, incredible things to be won. You need to submit your tape to Pageant Live, show at PageantLIVE.com, or you can fill out the information at our website, submit a video. You have until April 4th. The top 10 will then compete live on Pageant Live to find our winners, so you don't want to miss out on that. Also, I want to mention, check out Kyle Hagerty of Hagerty and Associates. Phenomenal national and international level pageant coach. He is incredible. So if you are looking to get some training and win your next competition, you can find him at weproducewinners.com. You can also purchase a copy of his book. I want to say thank you to Yang Lei of BeneathTheStars.com for allowing me to wear some of her beautiful creations, her beautiful earrings this evening. Yang is such a fabulous supporter of Pageant Live, and thank you so much. Check out her amazing jewelry. It's all for sale. If you're interested in purchasing these earrings, send me an email at askthecrown@gmail.com. I want to say also check out thefashionhero.com. It is an upcoming reality show looking for real people between the ages of 16 and 40, men and women who want to be models. So when you're there, register. Be sure to tell them that Stephanie McGrain and Pamela Prevette sent you. And until next week, everyone, shine bright like a diamond, and thank you, ladies.
Thank you
So much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.